1, 2, check. Check 1, 2. The first thing I'm going to do with my first $10,000 pedal review, I'm going to buy a new mic. That's my promise to you. What's up, Ben, Terry, Christian, Gary, Juan Blanco, Strat Hippie. That's my picture looking. I don't have my picture up here. Oh, there it is. That's better. Keep that right there. Levels are good. Good. Okay, sounds good. Guitar sounds incredible. Good. Yeah, these Ghost pickups are pretty awesome. I think they're a UK company. What be happening, Strat CPO? Mark Cote in Montreal. MJ says the guitar sounds incredible. Yeah, I like these pickups. What's up, Steve? Steve Franklin, Yeti Matzi, of course. And Christian, Peter Brown. Now, what guitar is that? This is a Bear. A Bear guitar. I think it's called the Bear Mojo. It's got the flame neck and all that, and the big giant pick backplate, which I love. You know, coming down from the Ret Show live concert stream. Yeah, I was just watching that too, but then I had to stop and prepare for this. But I was watching the same thing. You get a good sound. I've been trying to do something like that here. I started to do that back in the winter, right before the pandemic. I pulled out this whole area over here and started to convert it to a drum room, and we were going to do all this craziness, and you know, it was all going to be, you know, everything over in this room. And then, you know, the pandemic hit, and it sort of put a wrench in the whole thing. This is not an Ibanez RG560. Yeah, no, this is the 560. Have you noticed any mods? I'm going to hold off on the 5. I still have the 560. I think I'm going to return it this week. I've shot some of the footage, but I haven't finished it yet. And it's the type of video that really needs to be done with a dedicated video. And then I'll have it for next week's live show. I'm sorry. Then it goes back the week after that. I have 45 days to return the guitar. I've only had the guitar like 20 days or so. So, you know, maybe 15. So, you know, I haven't had the guitar, you know, because it doesn't go by when you buy it. It goes by when it's delivered. And so it's I think it's 45 days from date of delivery. Even if it's 30, I got plenty of time. So I'll get the 5G out, but the RG560. But yeah, boy, that guitar. God, I had just got my lights really set back up again right, and the 4K video. God, it's like such a friggin' job to get all that going. Finally got it all going, had it turned on, going through. I have a new lens, a special new 17mm lens. I had that going and had that focus and framing the shot and all that. And boy, you could just then you could really see how bad that paint job was. Right? It was just really, really coming out. Just orange peeled all over, you know. Again, it was, where is it? I think it's the middle two, right? Is it the middle two we cross over? No, yeah, these two, right? No, geez, I'm getting the note. You gotta do it. When do you do it? I cross them over. Well, yeah, like that. Shame. It feels like it's got to be lower. Well, yeah, like there. Shame. 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 Yeah, that's one of the cats right there. I think my wife needs an intervention. We just got 2 more cats. It's as sad as it is joyous. Like, we have 2 awesome cats, but one of our friends had a stray, and it was pregnant, and it had 7 kittens, and we took 2 of the kittens. So, yeah, I know I was going to display it this show, but again, I you know what, this week just got by so friggin' fast, and, like, I just no time. It's like, at some point, I need time to, like, play a guitar and, like, turn my camera. But, you know. What's up, Vince? What's up, John Doe? Christian Hunter? Adam D? Stefan? Mike? Yeah, Hell Spells, exactly. So we can talk. We've been going for a couple of minutes. I started a couple of minutes early, but we should just get the main topic out of the way, which is $10,000 for a pedal review. So unless you might have missed it, but it sort of reverberated through the sort of the gear groups out there, because I think it was Casino Guitars. I never play anyone else's video because that's their copyrighted material, and I never want to play. There's so many channels out there that will just download the video and chop it up and play little sections and then comment on it. You'll never see that here. I don't like it when someone does it to me, and so I don't want to do it to anyone else. Go watch the video. It's Casino Guitars, I think, is the channel that did it. And they were basically talking about payola, and that, you know, sometimes you get paid for videos. And that is true, you know. I think my thing is like this. If it's a brand that I want to work with and I reach out to them, I never, ever would ask for money. That seems really bad. I'll just say, hey, I'd love to take a look at your product. But if they reach out to me and they're like, hey, we have we have a sale coming up, we have something, and we want you to make a dedicated video, it's like, well, you know, that takes time and effort, and a video like that's going to get crap for views. Then you take a little bit of money. And when I tell you a little bit of money, I mean a laughable amount of money. How much money? About the same money I would make in 1 hour in my prior job. So, you know, there's that. But, you know, some channels out there do really well. And by really well, I mean, they make like they could probably easily get like $1,000, right? To like do a review. They write a song, they do a very in-depth review. It takes a lot of hours to put it together. You know, there's a lot of production to it. I'm sure Ola gets at least 1,000, maybe even 1,500 at this point. You know, and it's probably worth it, because a print ad is probably going to run you about that too, about 1,000, maybe $1,500, maybe, and that's if you buy a whole bunch. You know, you buy a single ad in a magazine, that probably costs you $3,000 or $4,000. They want to get you in for the year. You know, they want to lock you in at like $12,000 or $15,000 and have you in like every issue. That's how you get your cheapest rate. But anyway, So Casino Guitars came out, and they were like, they floated a $10,000 fee for an effects pedal review. And I was just like, what? No. And I think this is what we all kind of felt. We were like, what? No way. Absolutely not. $10,000. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, that has to be a mistake. There's absolutely no way. I don't care how big your channel is. You know, I heard that, and I don't want to mention the channel's name. Let's just say the channel has millions, with an S at the end. Millions of subscribers, okay? and they wanted to have a product promoted. He got like, I want to say, it was under $5,000. It was like $4,500 to do a couple of dedicated videos to it. Again, with millions of subscribers. You talk to the average YouTuber out there who's got a channel with less than 500,000 subs, and most of them, I mean, I'm under 100,000 subs. There are plenty of channels between 100 and 500,000. 500,000 subs. There's no way they are getting that money. Period. End of story. Now, what I wonder is, and I just started to think about. Like, well, how does that even start, right? How do you get to $10,000? Quite frankly, a typo, right? 1,000, which is perfectly reasonable if you're a really big channel, to 10,000 is not that hard, right? Now imagine you send over an email that says, I want 10,000, meaning to say 1,000. And the guy writes back, oh, sorry, that's just a little out of our budget. We can't afford that right now. Even if you think you sent over 1,000, that's a perfectly reasonable response, right? Now the pedal guy is going off to his friends and saying, he asked for $10,000, right? When it was like, oh no, wait, no, that was wrong. It's a typo, right? It's wrong, right? That I could see, and in fact, I think about this past Summer NAMM, right? Summer NAMM 2019. I was at the Vola booth early in the morning, and it was hot that day, really hot. And one of the dudes there was like, I said, I'm going to get a water. I'm so hot. You want a water? And he said, oh, please, yes, definitely get me a water. So I went over, and I got 2 big waters, It was like, whatever, $5, $2.50 a water. Walked back, and he was off talking to somebody. And I put the water down in the, like, at the edge of the booth, right next to an amp, right there, but like right next to the amp. And then, like, I took off. And then, like, maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour later, I get a text, hey, thanks for the water. And I was like, no problem. He was being sarcastic. He never found the water. And he thought I was being sarcastic when I was being genuine. We were laughing about it later. He goes, I go, you said thanks for the water. He's like, yeah. I was like, thanks for the water, bro. And I was like, no problem. And I go, there's the water right there. Of course, it's all covered in, dew from sitting there, ice cold, and relatively humid. I mean, he's like, oh my God, right? So, miscommunication. I could absolutely see that being, hey, what's up, Pooh Ninja? Exactly. You start at 100,000 and you get talked down to 10. It's a relative bargain, right? And then, so I was like, 10,000. Right? So I was like, there's no way that's possible, right? There's one possible thing. Just confused, right? Just sheer confusion. The only other thing I could think would be that, like, it was a joke that someone took seriously. Because $10,000 for a pedal review, you would have to sell, like, what? 12,000 pedals to make your money back? I mean, seriously, the margins on pedals can be really tight. It's an extremely crowded market right now. I mean, I believe there's somewhere on the line of 12 billion friggin' pedal companies out there right now. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't care how big you are. You want to get big, crazy numbers. You're a channel that has like it's almost like a lifestyle type of channel. Like, I am sure, like, Casey Neistat has received sponsorships in excess of $1 million, right? And there's a dude there with the tick. That dude? He and the wife there. I forget the name of the channel. But, he's kind of got, like, Tourette's or whatever. And they're basically a sort of a lifestyle vlog style channel, kind of a live podcast. And he said, like, he knew of someone who made like $35,000 probably like a makeup channel or something like that, or gaming, right? Going gaming. Gaming channel's got money, right? But pedal company? A pedal company? $10,000 for a single YouTube review? I call bullshit. I really do. I think it's either a miscommunication or something. I just don't see it. Like I said, the previous high I have ever heard of was 4,500 for a channel with millions. The only other one I know that like was a pretty decent money, and it was because it was like a big sponsor. I think they got like $2,000. It's pretty rare to even hear if people get $1,000. Most YouTubers who charge for these videos are going to get between like $250 and $750. That's reality, because they crank them out, and it's all about if you could do 1 or 2 of those a week, you'd have a pretty good full-time job, right? For $1,500 a week, yeah, if you could get $750 a video, right? That's great. Plus, on top of like affiliate money and things like that, you could actually start to have it roll in. You know, it could be a pretty decent living. But I just $10,000. I just, and again, I don't think Casino Guitars is making it up. Those guys just seem too genuine, to be honest. I don't see that. I see it as more of like somebody has that figure in their head, or because of a miscommunication, or there was another miscommunication. Something happened to get to that number, but I got trouble with that number. I'm not gonna lie. I got serious trouble. So I'm watching with Screwing with Pedals, ambient nonsense. I love it. Hey, fellow guitar, what are we playing tonight? Well, I'm playing a Bear Mojo. It's got let's go to Mojo Cam. Right there. I think maybe more like, yeah, there we go. Oop, 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 oop. There we go. Magic Cam. It's subtle, but that little detail on the bridge is kind of nice. All right. Ready for autumn? I am. Anyway, I just think that, I think that they're just reporting what they've heard. If I had to guess, I seriously doubt that, they making it up. They just don't strike me as those type of dudes. They really don't. So I'm just going to chalk it up to, again, I've got to think it's a miscommunication. Somewhere along the line. Like it was 1,000 and it somehow got to 10,000, right? What should I do with my first 10K? I'm going to quit my job, right? I already bought a new Mercedes. My first payment due is almost $10,000. So guys, I really, really need that pedal demo. Like as soon as possible. Ready for autumn, but my arthritis isn't. I think I got arthritis in my middle finger here. I noted this middle finger. It's kind of black and blue like all the time now. It's like it's always like a little discolored in that second digit there. See it? Like a little spot in the middle. I don't know. Maybe permanent broken. I don't know. Yeah, I got to spend that money. So a couple things I just want to bring up while I remember. So that was just my. What are your thoughts? I mean, what do you think about the possibility ability. Oh, I mean, what you name me? Here's the thing. You name me a guitar YouTuber who could get $10,000 for a pedal review. Rick Beato? I don't think so, because the guy who I know got 4,500 had like 3 times as many subs as him. So I don't think so. You know, Rhett Scholl, I mean, his channel is growing and he's got a lot of influence, but $10,000? Again, it just doesn't seem to, the number just seems so perplexing, right? It's like it might as well be $1 million. It's so ludicrous. But maybe I'm out. Maybe everybody's riding to town on the $10,000 per video bus, and I'm just sitting back there, watching the wheels go round and round. Is this for my speaker? Use capsaicin for arthritis. Oh my God. Is this for my speaker here? It is a nice name. Thorn. And I think Thorn gets about 15%, maybe even much as 20% of that number. Right? Which I don't think is unreasonable. He puts a lot of work into his videos, and he is influential. He probably does sell a bunch of units. And what he asks is roughly equivalent to what a print ad would do, but it's you know what I'm saying? People can put in the comments, it's a little interactive, you got sound, you got video, it's got right? And you got to remember the whole thing. And this is so many products. I mean, anything from Solaflexes, and fucking bow gyms, whatever they're called, right? And bow fingers. And, all those stupid things, right? They're selling a dream, right? There's no fat people on treadmills on TV, right? They don't have crappy people go out there and play guitars. They have ringers do it. And that's what Pete Thorn is. He's a really good guitar player who goes out there and he's a bit of a ringer. Right? And what he does is he sets up a fantasy. You associate the guitar with that good playing and that good sound, and suddenly you're saying, I could see myself doing that, knowing full well you're not going to do that. Right? I mean, the reality is none of us are like that good a player. Pete Thorn has got a monopoly on the Pete Thorn playing, right? He has a very unique sense of chord changes and stuff. It's a really, really good setup. And so I could see $1,500, $2,000 Ola the same way. Ola, he may not have the finesse that Pete Thorn has, but he makes up for it with comedy and, just all around fun and jokes. And he, again, is influential. I could see him, no problem, getting that kind of money. But $10,000? That's where you're losing me. PewDiePie could probably get $1 million, quite frankly. Someone says PewDiePie could get $10,000 easily. Easily. It's it's just like, who do you have for captive market? Does that market act on your influence? That's really what you're doing. That's all. It's pretty much it. Makeup channels do really well, from what I understand, like really well. Because if you become a makeup influencer, that can really start to set trends, right? And that's really huge. I'm trying to think of another product market on YouTube that's really gaming. Some of the gaming channels, it's just insane, right? And I'm sure that they get maybe a little bit to go on. I'll bet, and maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but I have to suspect that PewDiePie might have got a few dollars in advance copies to make sure that he had a video ready on game day of a playthrough, right? I could see myself doing that. I could see myself having fun and playing this game. And you put yourself in the, in the video person's, the videographer's, seat, and you make a purchase, right? It moves you to make a purchase. So it's a, it's a weird thing because nothing's guaranteed. You never know what's going to hit. And the difference is that you'll see some people, you'll know the difference about whether or not, because they won't really dedicate it to the product. They make a side thing, 5 things you didn't know about, single coil pickups, because that might get views outside of people saying like Harley Benton single cut, like, guitar that happens to have P90s in it. Right. Right. So instead of doing a thing about Harley Benton P90s, right, in this like single cut for SC450, whatever it's called, instead of doing that, you say 5 wacky things. What is it? 5 crazy tricks discovered by a single mom in a small town, right? Discovered by small town single mom. Right? This one trick to improve your playing discovered by a toddler on vacation, right? It's like some stupid marketing thing. But it's just clickbait to get you to tune in. And it works. That's why they do it. That's why you see it. Right? Yeah, OxyClean. What's up, Dave? 20 Canadian, that's like 50. That's like 50 US. No, I think it's the other way around. What about Phil McKnight? So Phil McKnight, I doubt he gets paid, because I don't really see him doing those kind of videos. You know what I'm saying? Right? I think the most he'll do, and I've talked to him about this, is he'll accept the product for free. But I don't know if he's ever been actually like straight up paid. Right? Instead, you just do it in exchange for free gear, that's pretty much been my operation. It's like, send me it over and I'll do it, and I don't really charge people. Sometimes I do if I don't want to keep the product, or if the product is like something I really wouldn't buy on my own. I'm not really all that interested in, but they came knocking, and I'm like, well, yeah, why don't you send over the pedal and, a couple of $100, and just make me feel better about doing this, because the video's not going to get a lot of views, because unless people are specifically interested in that pedal, and then it's, so anyway, it's a bizarre world out there, but it's got its limits, is basically what I'm saying. And I think the limit is a lot lower than $10,000. I'm saying in our world, the makeup world, right? The lifestyle world, sure. They roll out the green carpet. But I think around the pedal world, especially pedals, I would be more inclined if it was something like quite frankly, a software company. Because that's build it once and sell it over and over and over again. Manufacturing costs after initial creation are very low. That's why companies like Positive Grid have risen so high, right? Software companies can do really well. They can really rake in cash. That's a huge cash cow if you have software that just hits it with people. Steve Terraberry, maybe some of his best clickbait videos. I think he's worth it. I don't know that he is that. You will see him do it. He'll say, this video is sponsored by, and when you see like it's sponsored by Dollar Shaving Club or something like Dollar Shave Club, or, or like NordVPN, right? Or some game, that's probably a good chunk of change. That's way more than anyone that I know gets for cash. Those are a little bit higher in money, without a doubt. The big one for a long time was Audible, right? They'd get $5 or $10 out of Audible. But you had to be big. You had to be a big channel to get that, to land that Audible spot. So you know what 10,000 would be reasonable for? Someone like Tyler from Music is when going through all the features of a big flagship product like the Line 6 Helix. It might be, you know, again, that would be up to, you don't know what their margins are. They would have to calculate, now how many amps do we have to sell to make back that $10,000? It might be more than you realize. And we don't know if the market's there. Now, that said, let's segue, because we've been yapping about the $10,000 thing for 20, 30 minutes now. Let's transition into, and I don't know if you've heard this, sales are up, like really up. Fender says they're like on track to have like one of their best years ever. And I think it was Martin. So the New York Times had a story that referenced that Washington Post story from 2018. And it basically said just as recently as 2 years ago, the industry was written off as dead. Not so fast. Fender's having, it's like best year ever. Martin can't keep a guitar in stock. They say that they send them to stores, they get unboxed, and they're gone within like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. And don't you remember, Phil McKnight had a thing saying that Guitar Center was a little out of stock. I don't think that's by choice. I think there's a little bit of a supply crunch right now, right? Because supply channels got halted and screwed up for a little while. But we had a real hard time getting a Switch. We finally got one for my son at regular retail price with without paying the scalper price. But it really was sponsored by Manscaped. Oh, dude, I'd love some of that sweet Manscaped money. Send it over, brah. I mean, will I cash their check? Yeah. Have you tried the black truck pedal? I don't think I've heard of that. Hello, Electric Gypsy. Blues. I've been playing more guitar during quarantine, maybe even thinking about picking up music again. So I think what Peter just said is kind of what happened, on a larger scale, just sort of across the world, where people were stuck home. And when you're bored, you turn to hobbies. And music is a hobby for a lot of people. And, if you didn't get laid off and, you actually could, had a little bit of consumer confidence, people were buying stuff. Let me tell you, I was looking at the keyboard market for a while before I had this Panorama T6 now right in front of me. You can hear it clicking. Before I got this Nectar Panorama T6 MIDI controller, I was looking around for keyboards. And, I checked out a whole bunch of different ones, and the one thing I noticed is they did not last on Guitar Center used. You think the guitar market is volatile? Friggin' forget about it. Oh, my God. You'd be lucky if a keyboard would last up there like 24 hours, 12 hours. Here today, gone later today. It really was that crazy. Very, very volatile in the keyboard market. I would see keyboards, and it's not like they didn't have stock, because I would see keyboards come in. The Modi X, I've been looking at a Modi X for like 3 months. They'd have it in, check back an hour later, gone. Just gone. So this week, you guys gave last week $169, I think was the final tally. I got you want to know what my final was? After that, this includes my AdSense money, by the way. It's not just maybe this was just the transaction money. This might have been just the transaction money. So when you give a super chat, last week a lot of people gave super chats, you get a final tally like in this part of the website right here. But that's the gross. It was 169. The net was 112. I'm pretty sure that's exactly like a 33.33 and 66.66. So they take a third. So I started to look for guitars and pedals, right? Because I was like, maybe I'll get something this week. And I'll surprise you this week. I'll say, this is the guitar you bought me last week, and I'll buy find like something where if I matched everything, it would get to like, $250 or $300. But online was a Kramer Pacer custom 1. I think custom 1. Might have been a custom 2. Might have been a custom 2. From the first half of 1987. So 1987 was a big transition year for Kramer. They had switched to ESP for the bodies, but the necks were, I think, were transitioning to ESP and weren't. They either just started to go to ESP or they weren't quite there yet. Or they were to ESP. They were to ESP, but Kramer decided to change the logo. At the time, it was a small 3D block logo that said Kramer and American. It was white, single, double, coil tap, blade switch. You know, it was a nice guitar. So it's on there for, I want to say $6.99, $70 off, $6.29. And I was like, well, I got $112. I'm pretty sure that's enough to qualify for this guitar. Right? I was just like, I kind of wanted the guitar. So I reached out to Bobby and I was like, hey man, what do you think about this Kramer? He's like, I saw that Kramer. He was like, I was going to call you about that. And we sort of went back and forth and he goes, you know, I think you might want to check it out. So I called them up and they're like, yeah, that guitar is like out for service or something. It's got a problem. I said, well, it's listed. And he goes, yeah. I said, well, don't bother fixing it. I said, just why don't you come up with a price? If you're asking $19 or $29 or whatever it was, I'll give you $550 as is. I'll try. It was in Springfield, West Springfield, Mass. It's about a 2-hour drive for me. I was like, I'm coming from the Boston area. I said, I can be there in a couple hours. It's like, well, let me see. I'll talk to my boss and blah, blah, blah. Let me take down your number. He takes down my number. No call back. I called the next day. What's up with that Kramer? Oh, I don't know. Let me take down your number. I'll call you back. Okay. They call back the next day. Hey, I got 3 different calls, 3 different people. Hey, man, what's going on with that Kramer? Oh, I don't know. I have to talk to my boss and we'll see what's up. Right. Then it goes offline. And then I was talking to Bobby. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on with this. It's like they don't want to sell it to me. And it goes offline for a while, and then he texts me. He goes, dude, it's back online. And sure enough, it was back online. I call him up again. Hey, I see the Kramer's back online. Yeah, it's a system, and we can't get it to go offline, but we're still working on it. And my God, it was making me mental. And finally, it's like I was going to call him and be like, did you sell the guitar? Do you don't want to sell the guitar? What's going on with this guitar? And it's like I just couldn't get a straight answer out of them. So I sort of gave up on it. So unfortunately, I did not get the Kramer. I was hoping to have it like for today and pull out and say, check out the brand new vintage, 1987, first year Kramer. It's like that's a pretty desirable model. And no go. I got the runaround all friggin' week. So I don't know what did they sell it to somebody? Did they sell it to somebody else, or did someone in the store just want to keep it? I don't know what the deal was, but they didn't want to sell it to me. Anyway, hey Steve, what's up, Les? Way to go. Hold on, it's clicking on me here. Bought a 79 Strat yesterday. It ships on Monday. Can't wait to have it. Have you played a 79 Strat? They don't get the love they deserve. Yeah, a friend of mine had the anniversary one. Remember the anniversary model? Silver, said the word anniversary on it. I believe that's a 79 model. It was a 4-bolt. Those are great. It's going to be heavy. Those particular years, 78, 79, 80, 81, they were using that American ash. Could be a pretty heavy guitar. Not all of them, but some of them they're pretty heavy. That guitar could be 9 to 10 pounds, unlike the normal Strat, like 6 to 7 pounds. Good evening, Steve. Do you like Frank Marino? Do you mean Martino? I don't know if I know Frank Marino. Is this my speaker? You can use mine. Oh, right. That's right. You do. That's right. Is this for my speaker? That's, God. That's right. You have the flip-flop blue one, right? they kept telling me, oh, the electronics had a problem. I think yours had the electronics had a problem as well. So that seems to be a common problem. But it was in white. It was in the ivory. It looked pretty sick. I was like, come on, bro. I'll rip those pickups right out. Throw a whole new set of pickups in it. And they were like, yeah, I don't know what happened with that guitar. It's like, yeah, a lot of people talking about that guitar. We don't know what happened to it. I'm like, you cannot be serious. But I got the runaround. It was an old-fashioned runaround. Steve, what guitar is that in the back? Second from the couch. Oh, what, the red one? That's like a Chinese 335 style. You know, it doesn't have the F-holes. And it's got a compartment on the back. But yeah, it's like a maple. I think we broke that out many years ago. The pickups in it are absolute garbage. Was it a blue Kramer like Red Beach had? Yeah, I forget if it was the Red Beach. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you had Noel work on yours? Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it's a common problem, though. The electronics, I bet there's a cap in it or something that just goes to crap. Oh, is PDX here? PDX, I'm there low. Let's see. Oh, yeah, PDX is, are you all right? I hope you're doing all right. That's right. That's right. You're in a danger zone. Have you ever tried any Dean USA guitars? I was just recently looking at a Hamer USA, believe it or not. I have a little affinity for Hamer. Early 80s Hamers. I picked up a 2018 MML, and it's a sweet guitar. I'm sure. Yeah, Dean makes some good stuff. I know. Prayers to the friends on the West Coast. Pete's Drum Shop, Jack's Drum Shop. Jack's. Right? Didn't we got the guitar at LaSalle, right? Rest in peace. Speaking of rest in peace, I have to gotta say rest in peace to Toots from Toots and the Maytals. I was lucky enough to finally see Toots at a reggae festival. I wanted to let you, just so you know how important Toots was, Freddie Hibbert. Freddie Toots Hibbert was to the reggae world. He coined the word reggae, okay? All right? That's how important he is to reggae. He literally defined the genre because he had a song that came out that was called, like, Doing the Reggae, which he was like a dance, right? Because it's the 60s, and I want to say that was 67 or 68, something like that. And he, like, literally defined a genre. And one of his best albums, it's like got a lot of his hits, and every single song has a guest star, including Eric Clapton on one song, Bonnie Raitt on a song, Jeff Beck on a song, Bootsy Collins on a song, right? The whole album is nothing but just amazing. Is True Love. I thought it was in the 90s, but apparently it came out in 2004. I thought that was the remaster, but apparently no, it was a 2004 album. Toots and the Maytals, True Love, 2004. Look it up on wherever you stream. Check that out. That's got all his hits, and he will be sorely, sorely missed. I was lucky enough to catch him live, and God, he just, I mean, so many classic songs. 54, 46, 54. Is it minor? No, major. 50, 54 was my number. It's such a great song. That's the one with Jeff Beck on it. It's so freaking good. I just can't say enough about the guy. So much more than anyone else in the reggae world, Toots, to me, was the guy. Yeah, Rip Toots, exactly. Hey, what's up, Metalhead Hippie? Good to see you, man. Oh, and Rev Gary. Completely unfamiliar with Toots. Yeah, he wrote a bunch of classic songs. 5446 was my number, was one of his bigger ones. Pressure Drop, Bam Bam, Monkey Man was covered. What's her name covered, right? Come on, a big monkey man. Hi, 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 yeah. Oh, I'm a big monkey man. I only heard of you. I never will. That was Amy Winehouse had a big cover with that song. She really rocked that song as well. The other thing is some of his original songs, these are old recordings using old systems, and they're a little bit more slow and plodding. The great thing about the True Love album is if you listen to it compared to the old ones, he steps the tempo up in a lot of the songs, and it breathes new life into them. It really does. And especially a song like Monkey Man, which is much slower in the original recording versus the cover. And I think Monkey Man, I forget who he does that with. I think it's Monkey Man. It might be Gwen Stefani. It might be. Anyway. Rip Toots. Gary says the fires made me realize I need much fewer nice guitars. Too many become a burden. After the fire settles down, sell off a bunch. I've had that sort of feeling lately too, to get rid of some of my lower end guitars, and just concentrate on some of the higher ones. But I like some of my lower cost ones, like that Strat right there, or this Epi right there, or the Strat right there. Yeah, that was like $275. This is like $650. They're not very expensive, but I do like them. Not gonna lie, I kind of like them. Even this guitar is not a ton of money. It's under $1,000. Yeah, we'll switch to, I don't know if I still have it on here. Oh, yeah, right there. That's a Bear. That's a Bear Mojo by Bear Guitars. They're out of the UK. And this guy is a, if you're looking for a guitar, if you're the type of guy who wants a PRS, impeccable guitar that's like a piece of furniture, and it's spec'd within tolerances of most metal, machinery these days, this isn't your guy. You're not going to be happy with this guitar. They're way rougher than that. But, right, I love the big pick. He's got the flame neck on it too, which I think is a nice touch. But if you want a guy who is going to put his heart and soul into the guitar, he makes everything from scratch except the neck, which he buys as a blank and then cuts out the headstock and stains it and paints it and everything. This guy is your guy. He's I'd say he's more artist than luthier. But the guitars are perfectly playable and they're great. But the thing is that you're not going to have another guitar like this. And you know what? No one else is going to have another guitar like this either. You'll have a one-of-a-kind guitar. Every single one is just one-of-a-kind. And I think his most expensive guitar is like €1,500 or something, And that's hand-polished. He does, he's a little eccentric with that. He'll do French polishing. He'll do like 120 friggin' layers of French polish on something. I'll guarantee you he French polished this back. You know? You can almost smell it. You know? It uses those like resins, right? They're like shellacs, I think. Is it shellac? Or what do they use for French polish? I don't know. But anyway, it's cool. He does it. Monkey Man was with No Doubt, so basically Gwen Stefani. There you go. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it looks like a bear mauled it, exactly. Yep. The old bear. But they sound great. It's shellac. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. It would be something old school like that, right? French polishing just sounds like something that came about, you know, several hundred years ago. Upstroke harmonics, Beeeaatch. I have a nice $180 HT Squier Strat, pretty good, super light. Squier makes great stuff. I think that Squier gets really, it just like any brand, it drops way off once you get down to like 99, 100, 120 bucks. Though I bought a vintage modified used for I think 175. I think it's 250 new. That guitar was kick-ass. The fingerboard was all rolled. I was like, oh my God, it has a basswood body. They were Duncan design pickups. That thing sounded awesome. I was like, damn. Stevie like. What's up, Browns fan? Big weekend. We'll see if the Pats can go 8-8. Damn, so close. Do you still have that guitar? No, I gave that to my bro last time he was over. He was up in town. I said, dude, I got a guitar for you. Come on over. Still going to thin the herd anyway. And you know what? I only paid $175 for the guitar. What am I going to sell it for on eBay? Not even eBay. I'd sell it on Craigslist. I have a guy coming over, go, you take 50? You know, it's like, what am I doing? It's like, dude, just come over, take the guitar. He loved it. And I knew he loved it because the time he was over here before that, he's telling me how much he loved that guitar. And I was just like, oh, you know what? He said how much he loved it. I know he likes this guitar. Just give him the guitar. And I did. Theme from Beavis and Butthead. Is it? Am I hitting it? What is it? This doesn't sound right. Am I in the wrong fret? There we go. My main, Nick Patterson says, my main gigging bass is a classic Vibe Mustang bass. And I have USA Fenders and vintage. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. And if it gets stolen or it gets broken, you're not freaking out, unlike your vintage Rick. You know? When the 4001 becomes a 3,999, you're a little bummed. You're like, damn. No, I don't like that. And it was completely unnecessary. I should have just left that at home. The Squier can do it. There's nothing wrong with those guitars at all. That said, I thought the Bullet kind of sucked. I didn't like the tuners on it. I thought they were really, really weak. And I thought the Standard versus the Deluxe was so much better and not that much more money that it was hard to recommend the Standard over the Deluxe. You know, or the Standard even the Standard compared to the Vintage Modified. The Vintage Modified was much better with the Duncan design pickups. I really did. I liked it a lot better. And then they all kind of were second fiddle to the classic vibe. That was sort of the pinnacle, you know, at the end, at that time, all those guitars, I want to say like what, between say like 2013 and 2019, right? That sort of run. I think they've all been changed. Almost everybody is moved from China to Indonesia for manufacturing. So I'm pretty sure all the classic vibes are Indonesia now. Pretty sure. Nice pick, helped TK and his EVH guitar. Did you see it? I saw it last night on his live show. I thought it looked great. Nice. It's like a frost, right? I think he said it was a genuine Fender color, right? So the burgundy mist, I want to say, or burgundy frost, or frost burgundy, something like that. Yeah, look good. In fact, one of the guitars I was looking at was an EVH. Right? I was like, watch this. He's going to get his EVH. I'm going to take, my $112 and I'm going to run down and I'm going to go get the Kramer, right? I'm going to try and one-up him. But I couldn't get the Kramer. Damn it. take my Squier out, but my Fender and Les Paul stay home. Yeah. What player grade Les Paul? Hold on, that just slipped off the screen here. I have a custom first act made its way out here through Caraco, American made. No one takes it seriously, though. So the problem with them is that they tried to be a high-end company first, and when they weren't moving enough product, they became a low-end company. And so people associate them with low-end. But First Act did have a high-end start. You're not wrong. It was a high-end guitar company for a very short period of time. I actually know those guys. I knew the dude who was... it's a long story, but I knew them back in like 1996. Just bought Superior Drummer 380 Creamers pack. Nice. It rules. I get Led Zeppelin drums now. Yeah, I have one that sounds very Led Zeppelin-y. It's mainly just because of the effects, right? They put a doubler on it. Sounds perfect, though. What's up, John Clark? Still stuck in the 90s. Those are some of the worst years, though. The Squiers were good in the 80s, went really downhill in the 90s and came roaring back. Pretty much the Squiers after like 2006, I think, were really, really good. Burgundy Mist, pretty hot. Exactly. Do you like the new Fender licks you can buy? I heard about that. Plus, they just released a couple of new guitars. I want to say a rosewood neck gold guitar or some sort of like a muted gold. And then one in Fiesta Red. They did a Fiesta Red guitar with a solid rosewood neck. I'm pretty sure. They just announced it, which I like. Have you updated to the latest THU? I have not. The remastered cab sound a lot better. You can change it globally with the master. But all right, I'll check that out. I haven't really looked at it now. You don't buy any of the inspired by Gibson Epiphones? Yeah, that's one. Right there. This here. That's the Epiphone Les Paul Custom with the ebony fingerboard. So, fretboard, whatever you want to call it. You know that board where you put your fingers on the frets. Have you hear the Jeff Beck and Seal version? No, I have not. Trower used Squiers in the mid-'80s. I'm trying to catch up here. We had the rage back in the 80s with those Squiers because they were so cheap. You'd get them and rip the pickups out and throw EMGs in it. That was all the rage, right? You'd buy a 50s or a 60s Squier, like with a maple fingerboard, beautiful 50s style, with a V-neck. The thing was gorgeous. And stick a couple of, from made in Japan, and stick some EMGs in it, like the 50s EMGs, and my God, what a beast. What a beast of a guitar. Yeah, the room mic sound, yeah. Inputs on Japanese-made E-Series Fender Squier. Those are really good. The ones with those big Floyd Rose copy bridges aren't so good. Get the one with the standard bridge. Skip the one with the big giant, like, Floyd Rose workaround one, because they have to work around Floyd Rose's patents at the time, which means the lock is behind the nut. It's very ineffective, and the whole thing is just I'd skip it. That one. The ones that look like this with just a regular nut and a regular bridge, those are good guitars. Those are real good guitars. What lav mic am I using? I am using the Audio Technica lav. It's on, it's whatever they sell on Amazon. I know I have a second one around here. I was looking to see if I could pick it up and read your number off it, but I don't see it close by. Just one other thing while I have it on my mind right now. If you haven't caught Davidas's new song, Amish Whip, that he does live, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a satire on a pop song. And he's got that like T-Pain style vocal on it. But the lyrics are pure genius. And the dude, I hope he has a hit with it because he deserves it. It's 2 chords. He's playing with a sax player, so they play it in a whenever you play with a sax player, you got 2 keys. You play it in B flat or you play it in F. This one's an F. It's a B flat major chord to an F major 7. I pull up gently on my Amish whip, right? Versace diamonds on my wall, my drip, and keep my milkshake in a cooler bag. What's the next line? My Gucci shirt still has the Goodwill tag. God, I love that. I pull up gently on my Amish whip. Yeah, he's going triple aluminum, man. I had a song with triple aluminum. Right? And why does it go triple aluminum? Because it gets rated by the hippie community, which is such a dig on, like, if you think about it, like, you know, the needle drops and all the hipster places, you know, with the big glasses, and they're like, you know, the 3rd track of this song, right? It was rated by the hippie community. I freaking loved it, right? He got some airplay on a local radio station. You might have heard it if you were down here on vacation, right? He takes the limo at the bus stop, riding with his unknown entourage, right? His entourage of unknown faces. I mean, come on. It is friggin' brilliant. It really, really is. Now, he does do that crazy, stupid T-Pain vocal on it. But you have to remember, it's not a parody, because a parody would be like a parody is what that's what Weird Al does, right? That's what Al Yankovic, right? That's what Al Yankovic does. He's another comedian, but Al Yankovic, Weird Al Yankovic, you know, those are parodies where he takes an original song, right? This is not that. This is a satire, and it's a satire on, which is even more biting in a very real sense, right? I got a contact at the record station. 65% of promise, right? I got a contact at the record label. 65% of promises are on the table, right? I got a contact at the record label. 65% of promises are on the table. Genius. So again, I really, really hope it goes somewhere, because the dude just, right? No, not the Gucci watch. His Walmart drip, the Gucci shirt, right? And he has, and again, very smart. If you'll notice, he's got a little gesture for everything. He goes, I pull up gently on my Amish whip, right? Like this. Then he goes, I Versace diamonds on my Walmart drip, and he points to his watch, right? Which might be a watch encased in water at friggin' Walmart, right? Versace diamonds on my Walmart drip. And then he goes, I keep my milkshake in a cooler bag, right? My Gucci shirt still has the Goodwill tag, and he goes like this, right? And he does a little gesture. You see the people in the audience start to do it. I'm telling you, man, I really, really hope it goes somewhere for him. Normally, a song like that, I wouldn't even give a second look at. The only reason I did is because I know him, right? I've been friends with him for a couple of years, and I like him, and I like what he does. And the more I listened to it, I was like, this is so friggin' perfect. This is, the reason I love it is because of the satire. Without the satire, it's just another sad, if it was legit lyrics like, I'm the best ever, you'd roll your eyes and go, dude, this is cringy. But the second it becomes a ridiculous satire. It's pure genius. God, I love that dude. Yeah, he's from Florida, which is why the line where he says, we got some airplay on the local radio station. You might have heard it when you were down here on vacation. I think that comes from a real place, dude. And I just love the guy. I just think, and so I hope. I played the song for my kids. They both had smiles on their faces. My son was like, I kind of like this style of song. They couldn't believe it because they were like, oh, here comes one of Dad's Dino rock. And when it sounded like that, they were like, this actually sounds like a modern song. Right? That's what my teenage kid said. Very interesting. Anyway. Finger snapping good, exactly. I tell you, Zappa would have loved it. Exactly. Zappa would have loved it. God. Anyway. Steve, what are your thoughts on the Takai ES78? Played one in the shop yesterday. Can't get it off my mind. 870 euros at a good price. I don't know about the price. Takai makes good stuff, though. Takai is one of the companies that when they were coming out with their, springy sound, right, and love rock in the late 70s, early 80s to go against the Stratocaster and the Les Paul, they scared Fender without a doubt. They were like, wow, these are pretty good guitars. So they definitely put a fire into the ass of Fender to get their acting gear. That and the Japanese guitars that they had commissioned to try and come up with a lower cost instrument in the United States when inflation was so bad here in the early 80s. By 82, they waved the white flag and brought in the Japanese ones from Fujigen. And when they opened them up, they're like, these guitars are way better than our guitars. And it really put a pressure on them to get their acting in gear. And they realized that they could never do it under CBS ownership. And that pretty much started the process, the 3-year-long process to buy out the company from CBS and take it back and start fresh in a new factory. And that's exactly what they did. Exactly. Would love to hear Zappa's take on the slime of today. You got to be careful, though. Zappa seemed like a pretty open-minded dude to some part. He probably cringed at the 80s metal guys. Who knows what Zappa would have thought? He's Zappa's one of those guys that was pretty open-minded. You don't know what he would like or not like, but I don't think he'd like Britney Spears, but I bet, he could see the talent in, some players out there that, that even though they're pop, they're talented. What's up, Paul? Oh, well, is it the dividend reinvestment plan? Interesting. Yeah, you wonder if he worked for Walmart for a while, right? How else would you know that? According to my analytics, it seems that 89% of my viewers are not subscribed. Any suggestions on how I can fix that? Well, that's actually not a bad thing. Because that means more people other than your faithful subscribers. That means you'll grow your base faster. Yeah, that's actually not a bad thing. What you don't want is like 60%, right? Where it's like 60% of your viewers are not, right, are outside. You don't want that, because the lower you go with outside people, the more it shows that they're not recommending your video out there. You want non-subscribers if you're still in growth mode, which what channel isn't, right? What channel isn't? Trying to catch up on conversations here. Give me a second. Who names their kids Tweezle Mooney? Well, you have to remember that a lot of famous people name their kids weird things, like Apple, right? Because they want their kid to be special. Which is why I named mine THX 138. Are you still a fan of Steel Panther? Where are they now? They're touring. They have 4 or 5 albums out. They tour a lot, but their touring, of course, has been screwed up with the pandemic. So I think there've been virtual concerts, right? You pay a ticket to get into an exclusive feed, right? From I don't know if it's their rehearsal space or if they go to a local venue to record it, or really to live stream it, and you can pay to get into their live stream. And it's just the way to do it. But Steel Panther, man, they keep going on. Admittedly, their first album was an absolute masterpiece. I'd like to see them do and their second album was pretty good. Your Balls Out, that's got a lot of great songs on it. And even the third one was the third one, All You Can Eat. And then what was the other one? Raising the Bar, right? They've had a few out there. Yeah, I'd say that their first one though was absolutely just an absolute masterpiece. What am I playing through? I'm playing through THU. I got good old number 13 dual heavy rig. It's pretty much the standard one I use. My sons are Steve and Alex. I'm starting to get the Steve name now. Don't make me come over there. I've actually been floating, coming up with I might even, I don't know. I've been floating, maybe not, I don't know about a channel name change, but coming up with a pseudonym. See, I was going to do this when I changed it before, and I should have just did it then, but I didn't. Not to come up with a name, right? Because I want to come out with some music really soon, and it's hard to do it as Steve from Boston, right? You got to come up with a name, and in the tradition of Trey Xavier, right? That's his first and middle name, or who else? There's a whole bunch of people out there. I was going to do the same thing, just do Steve, and my middle name's Robert, and just do Steve Roberts, right? Just as a way to get it out there, which actually isn't a bad, right? Then I could be SRG, Steve Roberts Guitar, instead of SRV, SRG. See? It kind of works. Not going to lie, it kind of works. So I've been floating that, because, at some point, I'm going to want to use a first and last name. Martin Miller. His name isn't Martin Miller. if I had to pronounce his real name, I'd have to cut out your tongue to pronounce it correctly. But Martin Miller just rolls off the tongue, and he got flack for changing that name at first from his friends. But you know what? They got used to it. Exactly. Steve Hotshot. Well, the only problem, my old name would have worked okay. It was just that I was getting punished. I was getting punished on YouTube after the adpocalypse for the X's. They were killing me. And every single time I mentioned it, I said it, I had to spell it. That was annoying. Steve from Boston, I've never had to spell. Right? I don't think I'd have to spell Steve Roberts either. I think that most people would know how to spell that. Most people. I'm not gonna say everyone, but most people. I'm gonna put that squarely over the 51-yard line on that. Right? SRG, right? Well, that's just it. Well, see, Bluescast, I think, raises a good point that Steve from Boston sort of has become my brand. Or at least it has. Some would say it's been Pixie Licks all this long time, right? You know what I'm saying? My problem is coming out with music and how to put it, like when I'm filling out the form on DistroKid, and it's like first and last name. I'm like, What am I gonna put here? Right? Oh, yeah, the SFB experience, I suppose. My first album will be called Hot Shot. How long until all the Fenders sold this year hit the used market? It usually is between 6 and 18 months is the sweet spot. I have noticed that over and over and over again for products that come out. Takes about 6 months before they start to show up used. They peak about 12 months later, and you ride it for about a good 18 months out, and then it sort of drops off because the dust settles. It really does. I'm trying to think of a guitar like that. Oh my God, so many over the years. Some Squiers that were out, they were everywhere. Right now you're doing that with the rosewood neck Strats. For the longest time you could find the rosewood neck Sunburst and the rosewood neck, was it Daphne Blue, I think? Or Sonic Blue? No, I think Daphne Blue. And you see them on the used market like crazy now. They're all out there. But it took a while to ramp up, and now they're really starting to ramp down. The 65 reissue. They had a 65 reissue up there at all times for a couple of years, right? The 65 came out, took about 6 months. They showed up on Guitar Center used in droves. They're all up there like crazy. You could always get one. And then all of a sudden, right, drops off because the dust settles and people who have them are happy with them, you know? Oh, thanks, Metalhead Hippie. Always be Stevie Licks to me. Oh, thanks, buddy. Much appreciated. The Boston Hot Shot, says John Clark. Yeah. Steve Boston will work. Well, that's what I use on my, like if you look at my email, I think it's Steve F. Boston. You know, SFB Orchestra. Yeah. Yeah, I could use Whitey Bulger. I tell you, a friend of mine used to call himself Whitey. I'm like, really? He's like, since I was a kid. And I'm like, yeah, well. Kind of looked like Whitey Bulger, too. Might be time for an Ibanez or a Kramer. Yeah, I could switch up. What do I have? Well, I got a Fender right here. I got a Fender right there. I probably have. I might have one. I've had a couple of Ibanez here, but I can see broken string on one. I know that one's got electronics problems, but I got one over here with passive pickups. It should be plug and go, and I have a Kramer over here too, my Pacer Classic, and I got the Fender Select Strat like right there, right at my fingertips. All right. Okay, hold on. I'm switching up. I'm going to kill this so you don't hear the switcheroo. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Steve, I'm sorry. What did you say you were playing your guitar through? Yeah, I'm plugging into a Focusrite interface, just a computer interface for audio. It's an 18i20, but you don't need to get one as complex as that. Any of the Focusrite will work. And then I'm running through software. Right, it's called the THU, the letter T, the letter H, and the letter U. THU. And the patch I'm using, you can get, I leave my patches down in the description. This is patch number 13, dual heavy rig. My in tune. See you, PDX. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Stay safe, man. How much brighter that guitar is. That's a much lighter guitar. This guitar is heavier. These pickups they're not as strong. I gotta turn the gain up a little bit. Too much. Anybody having a problem with the spark? No, mine's working. You having a problem with yours? Mine's working. Yeah, this is we got to go to Flame Cam. Flame Cam. It's one of them fancy strats. Oh yeah, this was the last shop before the last stop before the custom shop. If you these had like a $3,000 list. They sold, I think they had a map. That's list. I think they had a map of like, I want to say like $22.99, something like that. And you see them out there regularly. There's one right now on Guitar Center used for $19.99, but it's a prototype. They never released it. That's a rare guitar, right? Probably a NAMM prototype. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous guitar. Yeah, and it's not a maple bound neck. That's so hard to explain. It's channel bound. In other words, you see what they do there? It's a one-piece maple neck. Right? The neck is actually one piece of maple. It's not, right? It's one solid piece. And what they do is they route out the front of it and they inlay, it's channel bound. They inlay the fingerboard. It's what we call in the industry sick. It's like wicked, wicked sick. Yeah, so they made these a bunch of different ways, right? So the Select Strat, I want to say the whole thing started in like maybe 2010 or 2011. 2012 is a pretty figured one, like it's got a crazy figured body and a really figured neck, right? But it's a regular Strat. 2013 comes and they introduce this channel bound, right? With the big headstock and all this, right? 2014 comes and they make the same guitar, but instead of a flame top, it's a quilt top. Instead of the oversized like 70s dot inlays, right? They have the early 60s clay dot inlays, and instead of the oversized headstock, it's the classic 60s headstock, right? So again, but other than that, it's like the whole thing is supposed to be like this top of the line, and of course it has the Select badge in the back. So sometimes you'll see someone on there that goes, it's a Select Strat, and it won't have that badge if it doesn't have the badge. It's not a Select Strat, period. Even that prototype has the badge on the back. Yeah, so this was a 2013 model. 2014, 2015, it was a Port Orford cedar, which is, I think, a cedar tree in Oregon or Washington. Port Orford. And that was 2015, and then they ended the series. And it had like a 5-year run. 2010 was a crappy model. 2010 was like a black painted neck and like a mahogany body. It was garbage. You can find those for short money because no one liked them. The next year, they just made like a crazy figured neck and a crazy figured body, and they do that for like, I forget if it was either 2010 or 2011 or 2011 and 2012, right? By 2013, this one comes out. 2014 is the other one I mentioned. 2015 is the Port Orford, and it's over. Just got on Hip Pedal Reviews for $10,000. What's that about? We talked about it earlier. You can rewind and check it out, but I go on for 30 minutes. Do we really want to do that again? I ranted for like 30 minutes on it. You'll catch the rant and just rewind it. You'll get it. Juan Blanco says, I have the Orford Cedar one. My favorite guitar, period. Oh, see, there you go. Yeah. No, those were pretty nice. I regret not getting one. For a while, they were really out there because it was just in that sweet spot where it was like about a year to 2 years after they had come out. And there's always that little churn in the market, and they were showing up on Guitar Center used for short money. I really wish I bought one then, but I passed on it. Now, you don't see them as often anymore. You really don't. Oregon. Yeah, there's a Fender's Rarity Strat. But yeah, the Rarity Strat, those are pretty good too. They can be a little over the top though. Some of those Rarities ones are really out there, like very streaky ebony on purpose, right? That's the look they're going for. You know? Yeah, exactly, Clan Lightfoot. No, not again. Let's just. Exactly, Landon. Exactly. You just send me $10,000 and I will reveal in a video who earned $10,000 on the video. Now you're thinking. It's a chicken and the egg syndrome. Steve, does that Strat have the S1 switch on it? It does not. And I got to say, I was a little angry that it didn't. I was like, this is your top of the line guitar, right, bro? But they didn't. They did make special pickups for it. I guess this is like they're calling it, I think this is just like a V-twin. This isn't a special pickup, but these are supposed to be special select single coils. So, but yeah, I know. I'm with you. You know, it's like, if this is your top-of-the-line model, your Deluxe has the S1, but you're not going to put the S1 switch on this and give me more switching options? Yeah. Yeah, no, they didn't. I was like, oh, well, oh, carry on then. Yeah, bone nut on the Fender Ultras. Yeah, this is, of course, you know, this is probably 2 notches above the Ultra, right? Because above the Ultra would probably be the original series. And then above that right now would be the Rarities series. This is more like what the Rarities would be, right? It's a special sort of like one-off, not one-off, but one-off, just for the year. Just for that 1 year, they do it. No coffee tonight? No, I have a coffee right here, but we ran out of coffee beans earlier tonight, and I fell to my knees and screamed, "Why, God, why? Damn you! Damn you all to hell!" Oh, God. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention to you. Have you guys heard of Tyga Bites? Have you heard of that? Tyga. I guess he's a rapper. Tyga Bites. We have one here in my town, and we ordered it. And the only reason why we ordered it was because we had a $30 off coupon. Thank God we did. It came to like $25 with a $30 off coupon, which means that meal was $55. And when I tell you it was a goddamn joke, my wife was going, you cannot, we were laughing. It was so bad. She's like, this is pathetic. I'm like, I know. It's like so bad. It was like a box of chicken nuggets and a box of tater tots and a bunch of sauces. And it was pathetically small and just absolutely ridiculous. They have no store. It's order. I think it's order only. The only way you would order it now would be ironically as a joke. Okay, I'm warning you right now. It's the only reason we ordered it was because we got a $30 off coupon, which we said would probably buy us dinner. Turns out it was half of what that stuff cost. It was, oh my God, it was horrible, horrible. If I was only getting $10,000 for a pedal review, you could buy more coffee beans. I know, won't you? You know, it's like, what's a good, probably like a, won't you please help? only $10,000 a day. Your generous contribution of $10,000 a day will help me buy Tiger Bites. God. Oh my God. I tell you, Max, if we had paid full price on that, I would have called them back and said, dudes, no way. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. I mean, really. It was so bad. Oh my God, it was so bad. And they have a place here in town. Oh my God, it was pathetically bad. I can't, like, just, again, if you were gonna buy it, only buy it ironically, as a joke. And if I were you, and I regret not doing this, I regret not just video the whole thing and throwing it up on YouTube and being like, thanks, Tyga, for about $10 worth of food for $55. I know, I could have told him we were Yelpers. I'm a Yelper, sir. Ever try Zach Wild's line of coffee, Death Wish coffee? No, I tried the Joey Kramer one, right? The Aerosmith one, but they didn't come as beans. It came ground. Didn't last long. It was out of Costco pretty quickly. No, right now we're kind of stuck with just Starbucks because Costco has moved on from their line of beans from Kirkland, which were so damn good. Could buy them online, but my God, the price is shot up. It's literally double. So, with quote unquote free shipping. In the arms of a nugget, exactly. In the arms of a nugget. SFB review. Yeah, you like that one? German rap is bad. Oh, I think the worst is country. When I see the country rap, I'm like, what? Yeah, Joey Kramer opened a coffee shop here, but it closed in about a year. Oh, really? I didn't know that. So he actually went retail. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Not around here. We didn't have a coffee shop around here. I know I should write a song about coffee. Java! 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 That's all. Right? 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 Coffee, 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 coffee. No, Kirkland beans, they don't have them in the store anymore. I can't walk in and buy them. The only way I can buy them is online, and it's like literally twice the price. You know, it's like, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm so bummed because their coffee beans were so good. They're really, really good. And they mixed them up, and they all had like very subtle differences. They were all a French roast, dark roast, but they all had like little subtle differences that were so great. The Sumatran was so good. The Rwandan, they had a Costa Rican, you know, they had so many just fantastic, you know, coffees, and they just seem to all be online now. If I wanted, I have to go online and order them from Costco.com. I woke up the cat, yeah. You all right over there, buddy? That's Buddy Cat. I told you we got 2 more cats, right? They're kittens. We're keeping the kittens in one room for now, and we're just trying to get their scent out to the rest of the house, and we'll introduce them slowly to the other cats. Yeah, on the B side of Java, the decaf power ballad, right? I'm coming down off my coffee. I'm coming down hard. I'm coming down off my coffee real hard. I know. My fault for talking them up week after week. Everyone made a run on it. Now I can't get it anymore. You bastards. The fancy stuff raises hell on my guts. Yeah, I can't drink the Colombian, they're too weak. It tastes like dirty socks. I need coffee-flavored coffee. Need some coffee now. 3 a.m. in Austria. Man, you're up late. Yeah. No, it's 2:43 a.m. over there in Central European time, for sure. No, it's down by the Java. Down by the Java. No dirty socks coffee. God, I hate that stuff. Oh, yeah. Met den Stroopwafel. You don't think I know what a stroopwafel is? Dude, I've been to Europe like 6 times. I'm for the land of stroopwafels. Actually, stroopwafels are hard to make. Is it, so where is stroop? Are they Dutch? Or are they Swedish? What's stroopwafels? What's the origin? Dutch? Belgium? I want to say Dutch or Finnish or something like that. Yeah, a little close encounters. For you. This is a 2013 Select Strat. Here, we'll go to flame cam. Right there. With the channel bound neck and the oversized dots. It's got the dots there, hot shot. All the dots. Everybody's dots. Would I buy it? Over in dot. It's Canadian. Get out of here, police. Stroopwafel? Dutch. Very Dutch indeed. Thank you. Dutch. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was Dutch. Canadian. Don't make me come over there. Jesus. Yeah, but to do Cathedral, you need the right sound. You need almost like a... do I have one up here? What's this? Yeah. Right? Right. Right. I think it goes up a major third. Do you start on C or B? I think he ends here. But that's a... Right? Right there, like a... Right, like a... Something like that. I think it's... This is the one kind of like a Marshall sound, you know. Much more mid-range. That's number 53. That's much more mid-range than my old standby, which is this one. That's the one I usually use. Anyway, back to you guys. Steve, have you given any of the Kawasa amps? Yeah, I did a show with the Kawasa amp. It's their Marshall. What's the name of it? I might even have it on my... I might even have a link. I can't load it now because I have this going, but I could have sworn I had one for Quasa. That's Revolver. There's a lot of icons here. Do I have it? Yeah, Amplification with a K. Caliburn. The Caliburn is what I had. The correct answer is Caliburn. All right, back to the U and to the tube right there. Yeah, I think everyone liked it when I played it last time, Mark. I did a whole show with it one time. I said I'm trying out new software. And, unlike most of the times I started up, they're like, I hate it, go back to your other one. I think people really like that one. It might have been about a year ago. Have you checked any of the new Kramer's thoughts? That's a sore spot. Couldn't get a Kramer this week. But, yeah, I tried them out at the NAMM show. And they're pretty freaking awesome. I'd like to get another one here. I told the guys from Kramer, but I don't think they have. Again, there's been a lot of disruption in the supply chain. I have a Kramer SM1 with EMGs. I wouldn't mind getting one of the ones with the Duncans. Save you the hassle of having to change it out. And I wouldn't mind doing it. It makes for an easy video to compare the two. And I don't even think they make them with EMGs anymore. I think they're all Duncans now. So maybe when they get back in stock, I can get them to send me. I like the orange one. That Orange Crush, I think, is looking pretty good. The other one's like a blue, and I think the other one's like a metallic black. I think of the three, I'm all in on the orange. That's the hard one. Make sure my pick's in my finger. I love that. About time I got a new Ibanez. I tried. I have one here, but it's not good. I got to return it. I wouldn't mind getting one of the new. What is the Genesis? I think looks really good, and then the other one is the not the Prestige, but the one that's Indonesian made. I think that's the premium, and they have one that's like I don't know. It's like I guess it's a poplar burl top, and they have two colors. One's like a blue, but the other one's like a brown. The brown looks pretty sick, and they're not very expensive either. Rosewood neck, please. Those are actually way over. That's harder for me to reach and just switch to. Besides, we only have about 5 minutes left. I should buy Phil McKnight's GGBO. No way. Unless, of course, I score one of those $10,000 pedal reviews. Then yes. DiMarzio Duncans or Fishmans. No EMGs. The EMGs sound good. It's just that the Duncans will sound different. I'm sure of it. And then it's just a matter of, doing a little comparison between. But I like EMGs. I have EMGs in 1, 2, 3 guitars, 4 guitars, at least 3 guitars. At least 3 guitars. Phil McKnight's build-off guitars up to 7100. Well, here's my only hope, that they actually go through with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you you hope that no one's going to jerk them around, especially where it's for charity. I'm hoping that the people are being verified, and this isn't going to end in, the aggravation. So I'm hoping. The guitars that were in the thumbnail for this, I think, are some of the most expensive RGs ever made. I want to say that those are $7,500 each, something like that, with the stained fretboards and stuff. I want to say they're around $7,500. EMGs are great, especially with a boogie. I like EMGs. I remember one time I was playing my, I got to work on it, but I was playing my, the one with the scallops, and it's got the EMGs in it. And I remember a couple of people saying, I can't believe how twangy that sounds on the neck and on the, the middle pickup. And I'm like, it's a pretty good, they're pretty good. And at the time when they came out in the 80s, it's like one of the few noiseless options you really had that actually sounded like a Strat. A lot of the other ones, they were stacked up and they were just a little too hot or a little too warm. It wasn't quite the same. I will say EMGs really had a really nice tone to them back then, Even Seymour can send you some pickups to compare. Yeah. Although I'll say this, to get America back buying and selling, I tell you, people are buying and selling out there. The guitar market, that's another thing before we wrap up. I will tell you, I spent quite a few hours this week looking over the PRS guitars. I came close to picking one up, but it sold before I had a chance. I said, who's going to buy this in the next 24 hours? Let me see what happens with the Kramer, right? Because I had my one iron in the fire with the, with the Kramer. So I just wanted to be careful. I didn't go too crazy. And of course I lost that one. That was a nice one because even though it was a CE, it was from like 1998. It was in dead mint condition, and boy, did it look nice. Like the top on that, you don't see those types of tops anymore, I don't think, on a CE, right? It's like it was as good as, the custom 22 or 24. It really was gorgeous. So, but because of that, it sold. I was looking at a couple other ones. They had one on there that was very interesting. I want to say it was $1,800, $1,799, but it was an artist series, so it's even above a 10 top. It's like an artist grade top. What turned me off is because when you get to the artist series, they put all gold hardware on it, and the top was so crazily figured. It was almost a little too much, right? I don't know if I want one that crazy. So, the struggle continues. The struggle continues. I'll find one. All right, dudes, we're wrapping up. It's 8:59. I believe I started a little early. How long have I been going? I've been going, it's not going to tell me? Well. Oh, yeah, there it is. 2 hours and 4 minutes. So we're over the 2-hour mark. And I'm sure everyone wants to get out from lockdown on the second floor. So I'll let them out of their cage. All right, dudes. Super thanks to everyone who hung out tonight. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. And, of course, massive hotshot shout-outs to my mod squad. Really appreciate it. Have a good one, buddy. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of buys. Good night, all. No, you rock. No, you rock. And I'll see you in a week. And, we'll do it all over again. All right. And we'll have fun. The bottom line is we're going to have fun. All right, dudes. Have a fun week. And I'll see you next week. And I'm scrolling up. Not really. I don't have to scroll anymore. It's a new thing. Anyway. No, you rock. All right, dudes. Have a good one. I'll see you in a week. Until then, rock on.